you think about the news today that Wiz turned down the $23 billion Google deal?
Oh, I think that was actually a really attractive deal for Wiz.
Yeah, I've heard they have like 350 million revenue.
That's almost like 70x of their revenue multiple, right?
Right.
So I think for the market today,
350. Yeah,
the market,
65x.
yeah, 65x. The market today is, I mean, forward looking, maybe somewhere like 6-7x for really high growth company. Maybe 20x, the Snowflake or things like that, maybe 25x, right?
Yeah.
But I think this is like 70x. I think it's a very attractive valuation. So for why they turn it down, I think maybe it's not because of pricing. It's more related to antitrust difficulties that they're likely to run into.
From problem with Google.
I think its regulatory restrictions are. I think a lot of people talk about it. Those restrictions are actually pretty significant at this point for the big tech companies. But Wiz is a remarkable company.
It is.
Right. It's how long they funded?
I think they funded in January 2020. I think.
January 2020.
4 years, a little bit over 4 years.
It's 4 years and a $23 billion exit. This would be a dream for every venture capital investor, right? So 4 years, I think for the revenue they managed to reach from 0 to 350 million is also quite significant, right? Normally, SaaS company would take, if you take 7 years to get from 0 to 100 million, is already actually pretty high growth. Yeah, they managed to do that.
They were like the fastest company to reach 100 million ARR.
They may not be, actually. I think Databricks probably had break that record. If I remember correctly, Databricks going from $1 million to about $100 million in almost 12 months. How long it took them to get to $100 million?
I think it's 18 months according to their PR release.
That's pretty fast, actually. So they're more like they launched their product end of 2020, and then it takes them 18 months to get to about $100 million run rate, and then another like 18 months to get to 3.5x. Yeah. So that's quite significant. That's I mean, in terms of benchmark, this is probably top 2, top 3 in terms of growth rate among all the company probably we've seen, right, in enterprise software. But 70x is still very high. Why do you think, I mean, although this M&A probably is not going to happen, but why do you think Google's apparently very savvy in M&A, right? Why are they paying 70x for such a transaction? What's unique about it?
Well, I think first of all, they're growing really fast, right? They're triple again in 2023.
Yeah.
And they have a very unique position in the enterprise security software market.
Enterprise security software, there's a lot. Palo Alto Network, Fortinet, and there's a lot of security companies already, right?
Yeah, but they're like they have like an agentless architecture, right? So it's very easy to get into new deployment. Because for companies like the traditional security companies, they need to deploy an agent.
Yeah. So like CrowdStrike.
Yeah.
Right, like CrowdStrike, right? This is what happened a few days ago, right? That's it. When you
There's a lot of risk and friction because you don't want to deploy someone else's agent on your system.
Yeah.
Unless you absolutely had to. And there's a lot of process to make sure that all the updates, they follow the process. Everything. Apparently, there's something went wrong with the CrowdStrike.
That's right. CrowdStrike probably failed on that front.
A lot of issues.
Yeah.
But Wiz is really unique because they started in 2020. I think that's just after like Amazon had provided a new API capability.
Can you be a little bit more specific what it is? Why they don't need to deploy agents?
Yeah, so in 2019, I believe, summer 2019, Amazon had provided a new API.
Yeah.
So you can take a snapshot of the running VM.
Yeah.
Basically, it's like taking all the bits of a running machine.
Yeah.
And you can inspect those bits, inspect those bytes
offline.
Yeah. The important thing, you don't need to do that inline. You can do that offline. So you're not affecting the production system. You can just take a snapshot and take some time to inspect all the bytes.
That will make the deployment also a lot easier, right?
Yeah,
so you don't need to actually have your system all linked to their system, because everything can be done offline.
Yeah,
you can prove your value pretty quickly as well. You could
that's one of the
give me the snapshot, and I'll let you know what's wrong with your system.
Exactly. You need a quantum, I guess, of API access.
Yeah.
And then, after maybe a day or two, you get a report, like all the vulnerabilities you have on the system. And without deploying anything, without affecting the production system at all.
Typically, security company takes a long time to get into customer, so they probably because they don't need to deploy agents on clients' production system.
Right.
So it makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, I think that's one of the main reasons they grow so fast.
Fast. But the snapshot, everyone can take it, right? AWS snapshot happened in 2019. Other people can do that as well. Yeah. It's like an open book. But why there's no competition? Do you know?
Well, I think. Obviously, like everybody's doing it now today.
Yeah.
But at the time, because inspecting a snapshot is different from when you have a live system live agent running on the system. So there will be like a different technology to do that efficiently.
Yeah.
And they're like the first company coming out doing that.
Why there's no other company? There's usually if this is good, other company will come up with a competitive solution. But it looks like there are clear.
They have like the early start.
They're early start.
Technology, right? And the team's really strong.
Oh, tell me about the team.
Well, I think they were, first of all, they were serial entrepreneurs, and they actually came from Israel. I believe they work in the Unit 8200.
That's right. Palo Alto Networks founder also came from Israel.
You think so?
Yeah.
And they started another security company and get acquired by Microsoft.
Okay.
And I think they worked at Microsoft for like 5 or 6 years. Then in 2020, they left Microsoft to start Wiz. Yeah. It's really the three of them have been working together for a number of years, and they've been working in the security space, in the space, and the security enterprise. It's a very strong team.
This is the perfect profile for VC to invest in. Mm-hmm. So someone who have been successful actually on their prior endeavors, right? Sold to Microsoft at a decent valuation, and then they come out as a group to work on a new architecture at an inflection point of change, like you mentioned about 2019 is the time actually snapshot was available to the founders, right? To the entrepreneurs. So that's really the perfect timing, perfect team, and then they managed to grow really quickly.
Right.
So I can see why they are growing so fast and why maybe there's not some really strong competition behind them. If you grow to, let's say, if you grew to about $100 million revenue in a very short period of time, you don't really leave time for other entrepreneurs or other startups to catch up. By the time the competitor has its own product in the market, you're facing someone who's established with $100 million revenue, an established team, and a very strong financial backing. And on the other hand, a startup with very little proven track record, very little revenue. Mm-hmm. For large companies like Fortune 500 companies, definitely will choose the companies like Wiz to work with, right? But I think there's maybe an opportunity for a different segment of the market. If you think about
like a small business,
maybe not small business. I think SMB may be. I mean, security is not one of their top concerns. But if you look into in other security areas like Palo Alto Network and Fortinet, Fortinet is more mid-market, and Palo Alto is more large enterprises. So I think maybe there's an opportunity. The snapshot-based approach, can there be an opportunity for mid-market? Some company may emerge in that category. It will require a different, maybe team with a different type of profile to address that market.
It's possible, but I think, the challenge today is because the tool chain, everything is already pretty mature. Doing the snapshot-based vulnerability scanning.
Yeah.
Obviously Wiz is the top player in this space, but also the other companies are doing similar things.
Yeah.
Because everybody realized the benefit. Of course, there's a downside of doing that, but there's the benefit is very easy to deploy and very little friction. So it is possible,
Yeah.
but I think there's another challenge in it.
Yeah, I think it's there's big players already in the market, and you need to truly understand what's the difference between mid-market and enterprise in this type of product. If you can find something really differentiating, maybe that's an opportunity. If it's the same product applies to everyone, then it becomes very hard.
Yeah, I agree.
Right,
agree.
right.